Hey guys, mrmotorman23 here, and this is my Savage 25 limited edition with K 5.9 Nitro Star engine. I got a brand new shell on here that I painted up. I mean, it's been run once, and that's it. Never run it again yet. But I did a custom rally flame paint job, and I have, you can kind of see them right there, very ghostly ghost flames on there in silver. But for the truck, I have this thing lowered down an inch and a quarter or an inch and a half, one or the other. I'm not exactly sure yet. I think I did an inch and a half. And I know and tell you one thing, for being down so low, I'm surprised that the suspension ain't stiffer, but it works good. All I did is in one of my two shocks in every corner, I cut down a piece of fuel tubing to length. I took the shock apart and I just put that on the shock piston, and that worked pretty well. Going on to the motor, we have, as I said, a Nitro Star K 5.9 engine out of a brand new Savage XL, and it runs great. The only problem is if you can see that, this back end here wobbles. The only thing right now holding this whole rear end on is the rear skid plate. I'm working on getting a new rear bulkhead cage to put on here, but I've been getting so caught up in my Venom Creeper and my Sprint 2 Flux race project. Right now those two come first. The Basher comes last. But coming back to this, I need to buy a new bulkhead cage to replace this one. I also have to buy, it seems like a lot, I've been going through bevel gears, and this time I think I might have gone with a pinion gear, I think is what I blew this time. But something happens inside here. The next thing that I'm going to try upgrading to is I'm going to try to upgrade to get the 29 tooth bevel gear and the 9 tooth pinion gear that are out of a Savage XL and a Savage Savage Flux HP. The only bad part is I gotta buy 2 sets of that, which is the bitch, because I have to do one in the rear, and then since I did the math, and with the gearing that I'm running on the transmission and the gearing that I have now, and the gearing that I would have on the tranny and what I would have with the 29.9, is just, it would be too much of a difference from the front. So I have to put a new set in the rear, and I have to put a new set in the front. And the front is going to be the bitch to get out, because the front's got the steering on it, and those screws in there are tight as tight can be in there. I cannot get those friggin' things out. So, but that's the project that I have to do. I tried shimming the rear back here. I had to do almost, I think it was like 52 thousandths of shimming in between the bevel gear and the bearing. That's how far out of whack it was. So I shimmed that, and it worked. It lasted 3 times longer than it usually did. 3 to 4 times longer. Before I'd only get about 4 runs out of it, 4 tanks out of it, and then I would have to replace the rear bevel gear. this time it's a lot better. I don't know how many runs I got, but I know I did get quite a few out of it before. Now I have to replace it. So not only do I have to get a new bulkhead in the rear, bulkhead cage in the rear, I have to get 2 new sets of gears for a Savage XL, which hopefully once I get that will solve my problem with always having to replace the gears. Then also I'll get the cage, fix this wobbly rear end. But before, I kept on blowing my rear bevel gears, I kept on blowing my spur gear. So I went to a steel 49 tooth spur gear, and then I ended up taking every single tooth off of my clutch bell. So I went to the steel clutch bell recommended to go with this spur gear, and it works fine. And I was loving it up until yesterday, which you'll see the way that it acts. It doesn't like to shift into third gear. It will shift into second, perfectly fine, but it does not like to shift into third gear when it does not have a rear end into it, as I would say. Just when it's going, it's putting all the power to the front, so it's not, you know, and the front's not grabbing enough because it's going like this and it's picking the front end up. So it won't shift into third gear when it does that. It will only shift to second, and it doesn't like to, and it's sluggish off the line. So, but you'll see the way that it acts in this video. Enjoy.